Begin by standing shoulder width apart and gently twisting left to right, keeping your arms relaxed, allowing the twisting to release any tension in your spine, torso, shoulders, and arms. Making light contact with your arms to massage your lower back and stomach. Begin to engage your knees, allowing the arms to reach over and around your shoulders, massaging your upper back, and again releasing tension as you sway, keeping the body relaxed, left and right. And really taking your time with this movement, getting into a nice relaxed flow as you move left and right, and it's through the repetition that the benefit of this exercise reaches the body. Next, begin rotating the shoulders up, back, and down in a circular motion, helping to release any tension along the traps or upper back, upper shoulder area. Just keeping the body relaxed and working through your range of motion. And just like before, but this time the opposite direction. Lifting the shoulders, moving them forward, bringing them back down, rotating the shoulders. And next, bringing the arms together, bringing the hands in contact, pressing them together, slight isometric movement, and bringing the arms overhead. Back of the hands now pressing together, and again, slight isometric movement. This helps to engage the shoulders. It also massages the upper back, engaging the scapula. And as you get comfortable with the movement, engaging less isometric pressure and just moving back and forth, creating greater mobility, fluidity in the shoulders and upper back. Remembering to breathe, keeping the body relatively relaxed despite engaging the arms. Again, playing with the pacing of this movement, moving fast or moving slow, and shaking it out. Next, looking over your shoulders, looking left to right, engaging only as far as is comfortable for your body. Feeling a slight stretch, a relaxing and therapeutic engagement of the neck, but stopping short of creating too much tension or pain. And looking up and down now, just like before, engaging the muscles and joints of the neck without creating any sharpness or tension. Just lubricating the tissues with this movement, helping to wake up the neck and the cervical vertebrae. Next, holding the ear to each shoulder, maybe moving around a little bit, making each movement your own, allowing your body to open and release, especially these tight areas around the neck. For those of us who sit in chairs or at desks all day, this is an especially easy area to develop tension. Just being patient and gently moving back and forth. Maybe half circles now, depending on what feels good for your neck, for your body. And again, perhaps full circles or half circles, moving back or moving down and up. Exploring the range of motion of your neck and just noticing any areas that feel especially tight. Next, opening and closing the chest. So by moving the arms back, we're bringing the scapula closer together, lifting the chest, opening the shoulders, moving back and forth, crisscrossing each arm over the other, alternating left and right every time. Move the arms back, and then give ourselves a sort of gentle hug. Developing your own comfort with the pacing, maybe you want to move a bit slower or a bit faster. See what feels good for your body. And then holding the arms out, really engaging the scapula, the traps, the upper back. And then bringing the arms across, giving yourself a gentle hug, really opening the scapula, bringing them further apart, opening the back. Actively engaging and holding the arms back, alternating left and right as you cross over in front. Just allowing these last few reps to release any tension, and then moving into arm circles. So allowing your arms to move freely, and flipping your hands up towards the sky or towards the ceiling, and moving in the opposite direction, really lubricating and opening the shoulder joint, bringing greater circulation into the hands, and alternating the palms up and down. Maybe you move through fast or slow, maybe really, really wide rotations. Good, and just moving through all of the motions we've done. You can open and close, lift the arms up and down, seeing what feels good. And then gently moving into hip rotations. So exploring the range of motion for your hips. Maybe you'd like to move slow or fast for this one, depending on what feels good for your body. Really exploring the range of motion, so forming a nice large oval on the ground as if you're tracing a large oval with your hips. And really taking your time to nourish and wake up the hips. The hips are an especially tight area of the body, especially if we sit or are sedentary for most of our day. And making sure to move in the opposite direction as well. You can alternate back and forth, clockwise and counterclockwise, depending on what feels good, or spend most of the time in one direction and then switch. And placing your hand on your hip for support, opening up your sides, your lats, your obliques, just really giving a chance for your ribs and the side of your body to open. Reaching through your palm, moving back and forth. All right, next, placing your feet a little closer together and just bouncing down, bringing your buttocks closer to your heels or hips to heels, and just moving down, releasing any pressure, bouncing a little, standing up, bring the arms back, open the chest, open the torso, pressing on the quads as we come up initially, allowing the legs to straighten, and then bouncing again after opening the chest and torso. Moving through this range of motion, allowing the body to open in each area. And next, moving into knee rotations. This is a great way to lubricate and nourish the knee joints. We usually don't move in this motion, so it can be very nice for a gentle conditioning exercise for the knees. Just forming clockwise and counterclockwise movements for the knees. And just like the knees, moving to the ankles, moving in clockwise and counterclockwise rotations, lifting the heel up, using the ball of the foot as an anchor. And switching sides, making sure to get left and right ankles. And if one side needs a little extra attention, if it's feeling tight, just making sure to notice what your body needs. Next, wrist rotations, clasping the fingers, interlacing the fingers, moving in a figure 8 position with the hands and nourishing the wrists, giving a lot of extra circulation to the fingers by opening and closing the palms. Especially if you're typing all day, this is an excellent exercise. And similarly for the wrists, you can move in that DJ position, back and forth quickly, opening and closing the door, shaking the hands out. These are all really great exercises that you can move through at your own pace, depending on which one feels like it's the most therapeutic for your body. If you've been typing at a desk or a laptop all day, these are very, very important exercises to keep the wrists, the hands, and the forearms nimble and nourished. And remembering to shake out your hands in between these exercises if you notice any tightness or stiffness forming as a result of these exercises. And next up, placing your hands down on the floor about shoulder width apart at your shoulder height. Placing your body into a strong plank position. So you're actively lifting through your legs, through your arms. You're actively pressing into the ground through your hands. Your whole body should feel engaged, all the way from your heels up through your arms. And notice that the lower back is engaged. You want to be careful not to slouch in the lower back, making sure that it remains engaged. Strengthening the core, strengthening your legs, your glutes, your hips, your arms. It's a great full body engagement exercise. And remembering to breathe at the same time. It's an interesting paradox between relaxing the body and keeping it fully engaged and awake. Almost there. Remembering to breathe. Keep yourself focused. Again, being careful not to slouch with the lower back, keeping your body in a strong position. And then transitioning into a side plank. So bringing one arm up. This one can be a little tricky for balance, so you can look at the ground if you need to center yourself or help with balance. Actively pressing through the ground, lifting your hip up high, making sure not to slouch from the bottom hip. And again, making a point on the ground if you find that your balance is feeling a little bit iffy. Keeping your whole body engaged from your ankle all the way through to your wrist. Actively reaching up with your top hand. Good. And switching sides at your own pace, taking your time. Again, picking that point for balance. Make sure that your ankle and hand are firmly rooted, or the side of your foot and hand are firmly rooted. And again, actively lifting or actively engaging from your bottom hip, making sure not to slouch, keeping your body in a nice straight line from your bottom shoulder to your bottom ankle. And actively reaching with that top arm through the top hand. Making sure to breathe. Actively engaging through the hips, through the core. Almost there. Next up, placing your body flat on the ground. And you're going to, it's like you're skydiving, lift your arms and legs off the ground, engaging the back. And as you do so, making sure to lift out through your limbs. So you're extending out through your feet, extending out through your shoulders, down through your fingertips, creating space in your legs and arms, even lifting out through the neck, up through the head. Actively lifting your limbs up as high as you can, as is comfortable, so that you can sustain this position. Remembering to breathe. This is an excellent posture, excellent position for helping the back, especially if you're noticing a kind of curvature of the shoulders, or you've been sitting at a desk for too long and your back feels a bit tight. This is a great way to bring blood flow back into the spine, up through the erector spinae, the main muscles of the back. Actively lifting, actively engaging, remembering to breathe. Almost there. Again, these postures or positions require focus. But using the breath to help your mind focus. Just a little bit longer. Great work. Next, helping to bring the blood back to our limbs, doing a few jumping jacks. So bringing the arms out, bring the legs out, back and forth. Again, at your own pace. Perhaps this is too slow for you or too fast. Find your own pace so that you feel your heart rate increasing slightly and you feel the blood coursing from your core back to your arms and legs. Good. Make sure to breathe deeply. Almost there. A little cardio in the morning or even after class is a great way to stimulate the mind and nourish the whole body with fresh blood flow to all areas of the body. Good. Just a little bit more. Good. Shake it out. And next is one of my favorite exercises for the back, for the entire torso, in fact. Placing your hands down on your thighs, close to your knees, looking over your shoulder, using your arms to create tension to help you twist. And exhale, coming down and across, pushing with the opposite arm, letting the opposite arm bend so you can look over that shoulder, and allowing the torso to twist. Keeping a nice dropped stance, so if you're familiar with horse stance, or almost like an extra wide, deep squat position, that's the kind of position you want your legs to be in. About twice shoulder width apart, almost at a 90-degree angle, using the pressure that you push on the inner thigh to help the torso twist as you spin and look over your shoulder. Again, exhale as you move down in a circular motion, and inhale as you move up. A few more rotations now, almost there. Remembering to breathe and twist. Breathe and twist. Next, straightening the legs, letting the upper body hang. You can clasp onto your forearms or just let your arms kind of flop down, relaxed towards the ground. You can create a very gentle bounce or slight engagement, a pulsing of the upper body towards the ground. It's going to help open the legs, release tension in the spine. And just lifting and stretching, almost like a cat, coming back up, enjoying that engagement of opening the body. Drawing the arms back, lifting the heart, lifting the chest up, really helping to engage the spine and help any kind of posture that may have developed from sitting for too much, hunched over a chair or desk. And the arms rotate out, palms out, chest lifts, head gently floats back. And you can engage the body in this exercise at your own intensity, an intensity that feels good for your body. Perhaps drawing the scapula back and actively engaging the muscles of the upper back feels good. Or perhaps just a gentle lean back, lifting the head, rotating the arms out, letting the chest lightly and gently float up towards the sky or ceiling. Good. This next exercise is one of my favorites as well. You're going to bend the knees gently, place the palms facing down towards the floor or earth. And as you inhale, you're going to rotate, strengthening and lengthening through your legs, through your whole core, looking over your shoulder, rotating your palms out, lifting your chest up, drawing your scapula back. Exhale, come back to center, bringing the palms back down, facing the ground, knees bend gently. And then inhale, rotating again. This is excellent for the cervical vertebrae, excellent for the upper back, for posture, for opening up the arms, especially if they remain tight and bent all day. And it creates a full body stretch. It's gentle and subtle, but your whole body benefits from this exercise. Taking your time, you can develop your own rhythm, your own pace as you move back and forth. Inhale, looking over your shoulder, rotating your arms out as far as they will go. And exhale, coming back to center, bending the knees as you come back to center. Back and forth, left and right. Timing the movement with your breath at a pace that feels good for your body. And just taking these last few minutes to move through some of the exercises we've already done. Just noticing which movements feel good for your body. Maybe some core rotation, helping to nourish the spine. Maybe lifting the arms up and down to help massage and nourish the scapula, upper back. Next, we're actively stretching our palms and arms down. So it's almost like an isometric movement. Stretch down and release. Then stretch the palms up all the way from the feet up through the fingertips, up through the palms to the sky or ceiling, and release. Good. And out through the fingertips now, as if you're stretching out, trying to separate all of your joints, stretching, lifting, separating, and release. You can time this with your breath. As I push out through my palms, I'm inhaling and holding the breath as I stretch, 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 and release. Exhaling. And I'll place my fingertips down towards the floor at an angle. Inhale, stretch, 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 and release. Shaking it out. Noticing if you develop any tension, just to shake that tension out. Next, lifting the palms with arms straight up towards the sky. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, release. And placing the palms flat, stretching out through our palms, strengthening through the legs, out to the sides and back, lengthening up through the head, and release. Good. Helping to tap out or shake out or brush out any tension in the body now. Helping to wake the body up for the day. Or perhaps wake the body up again in the afternoon if you're doing this later in the day. Massaging the belly a little bit, helping to nourish and stimulate our organs. One hand sweeping over the other, a nice circular motion, bringing some warmth, awareness, and nourishment to our core. Rubbing the hands together, getting some heat, some friction, placing that heat over the eyes, over the face, and again, sweeping out that tension, especially from the face, from the scalp, from the shoulders, down the arms. Take a nice deep breath, and that's our class for today. Thank you.